3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Welcome to Combat Champs. My name is John.
And I'm Jeff.
And this is where we give our latest views and reactions to the UFC mixed martial arts world.
Today we're going to go through UFC 281 post fights, starting from bottom to top of the main cards. Now, the first main card, Dan Hooker versus Chris Wallace. What a joke.
Yeah,
a joke.
That's pathetic.
See, this is the reason why when people say like, oh, this so-and-so fighter is on a win streak. Puerto is going on a 5-win streak. And what then? Coming against Dan Hooker, the handman, and pretty much did nothing.
Nothing
at all. It was the most boring fight I've seen so far this year.
What was he just doing? Rolling over, playing dead?
Yeah, I feel like he's a dog.
Behave, bro.
It's a joke. Or Dan Hooker again, gave it all. More or less, it was an easy fight for him.
Yeah,
easy fight. Using his length from jab cross, from kicks.
The basics.
The basics. Just playing with him.
Yeah.
Just playing with Perez. And Perez more or less couldn't get nothing. It's like he was so scared to even just throw.
He knew he couldn't stand with him whatsoever.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why he tried to go for the takedown, the legs all the time. And bro, to be honest with you, even that, like trying to get your opponent on the ground, using his strength,
joke.
Bro, it was a joke. He didn't try to set up anything, just trying to keep him going for the leg, the takedown all the time. I'm like, this guy's pathetic, bro. If anything, after this fight, I want Dana White to ban him to the shadow realm, man. Leave him over there, bro.
All the way at the back.
Because he's a joke, man. That was a joke of performance, man. Never want to see that guy ever again.
Again, yeah. But either way, give it to Dan Hooker.
Yeah, well done.
Well done, guy. Back on a winning streak. Hopefully he keeps on going and push forward for more wins down the line.
Facts.
Moving on.
Quickly.
Frankie Edgar versus Chris Gutierrez. Now, this was Frankie Edgar's retirement fight. And I think pretty much we all love Frankie.
Yeah,
this
legend,
guy,
bro.
This guy has given it all inside the UFC organization. Gave us wars from lightweight, featherweight, and also down to bantamweight.
Yeah.
Sadly enough, that knockout loss.
Yeah, bro, man.
Chris.
We predicted this really, truly, man.
Yeah,
you know, like
seen
the
this
last
coming.
few fights he's had, that crazy uppercut knockout against Brian Ortega, and then he suffered a similar knockout to Corey Sandhagen, right?
Flying knee to the face.
And bro, the story continues, unfortunately, inside this matchup, bro, man. Like, Frankie was doing his little feints, head movements, whatnot, trying to, you know,
Pressure the fights.
yeah, put his like he normally does, push the pressure into the fight. But at the same time, you can tell that he didn't have nothing whatsoever for him inside there, you know.
And Chris, man, he was just more or less just feinting a lot.
Yeah, waiting,
from
taking his
kicks,
time.
punches, moving around, not staying in the pocket with Frankie. And you could tell at this point, like, it was just like Chris is just flowing.
Yeah.
He was just flowing in and out, in and out.
He was in the zone.
Yeah.
He was in the zone, man. And then after he just timed that knee, bro. Man.
Perfectly.
And as soon as Frankie tucked it in, and
That's what always happens.
He
It's
landed
always
it, bro,
when
man.
Frankie leans into trying to look like he's gonna go for a takedown.
Yeah.
Is that knee? That knee just comes up perfectly towards the face. Bang, lights out. Sad. It's very unfortunate to see Frankie more or less lose that fight like that. I wish he more or less could have pushed the fight,
A little bit more,
gave it a bit more of a war.
Yeah.
But hey, if that's your last fight,
hey, man.
that's not gonna tarnish his legacy.
Nah, it's cemented there, my Hall of Famer right there.
For sure,
man.
exactly.
Hall of Fame, man.
I really wish Frankie more or less the best of luck in the future,
Yeah,
whatever he
bro,
does. And yeah, happy
Thank you for
day.
the memories, bro.
Moving on.
Yeah.
The fight of the night. I've been telling you this. I've been telling this to everyone this whole year.
Fight of the year contender.
Fight of the year contender. Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler. The first round, it was just at it. These glads were just going crazy, just throwing everything.
Michael Chandler with his side, with his wide stance.
Wide
You can tell,
stance,
like,
yeah.
when he was going to go for it, every time he threw something, it was a little bit looping, but he was throwing it with power. Bro,
Exactly.
man. He was making sure that everything lands in him, whether it's the body, the head, he was mixing it up, but it was catching and landing. And for a little bit, Dustin was like hesitant, trying to read everything, waiting for the counter and whatnot. But the first half of the round, it was all Michael. Really.
Yeah, it was dominated, pushing the fight, pressing Dustin a lot.
And then after Dustin started coming in, did a nice little check hook, which hurt him, stunned him a little bit. And then afterwards, from what I see, I understand it was a straight right that burst Michael Chandler's nose, bro.
Ooh.
And from that point on, it was a bloodbath, man. I think it dazed him a little bit, and Dustin was just coming in with it, bro, man.
From the multiple combinations on the face.
Mixing up everything, man. Leg kicks and whatnot as well. He was doing his thing, man. He was putting himself amongst, you know, like another war.
Yeah, you could tell that first round. And of course, like towards the end of that first round, Dustin was more pressuring Michael Chandler against the fence from multiple combinations. I think in the last second when he threw that left elbow towards the chin, you can see Michael was just like really hurt.
Yeah, thankfully the buzzer came in
just to save him.
Yeah,
so if they lost for another 10 more seconds, Dustin would have got him out for sure. What happened?
Sure, yeah.
Move on to the second round. It was a bit more calmer. It was still kind of like pressured, but with Michael Chandler, and I said this before as well, is Michael Chandler, since he's got a great wrestling background, when you're tired, when you're hurt, what are you going to do? Go back to your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Michael Chandler basically got Dustin Poirier off the ground, flipped on his back, and pretty much dominated him the whole round.
Kept him there, bruv, man. Doing a bit of, a little bit groundwork, ground and pound, trying to keep them and everything. And you can tell, like, Dustin really have no answer for it whatsoever. Fair enough, being a black belt jiu-jitsu, you think like he can, find his way, do a little armbar, triangle, whatever it is. But he had nothing from really. And Chandler just pushed him out against the fence and start doing the ground and pound, bruv, man. Finished the whole round dominating and made it 1-1 in my opinion.
Yeah, and then basically now moving on to the third round, the final round.
Yeah, bro.
Again, they were just going all out. At this point, you couldn't tell like it was even Steven on both sides.
But you could tell Michael was a little bit more fatigued.
Fatigued for sure.
You could see he gave everything in those 2 rounds. Really, man. He had nothing there for the third round whatsoever.
But that's why Dustin is named the Diamond.
Yeah, but he knows.
He performs when there's pressure.
Yeah, bro.
And he pulled it off at that fight. Pretty much just giving all he got. On the beginning, both going back and forth combinations. Then, of course, went on the ground. But surprisingly, like, this is the thing as well. When you're so bloody and sweaty, it's so hard for you to even dominate your opponent on the ground.
So you can't get any grip.
Exactly.
And whatnot,
But Dustin pretty much, again, since his jiu-jitsu was there, got Michael Chandler on the ground, got his neck, submitted him from there. Yeah, and, like, to be honest, like, either way, Michael Chandler lost this fight, his stock still went up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just like he's like one of those fighters. Win or lose, no matter what the situation is, everyone loves his performance. He's always getting performance fight of the night or fight of the year all the time.
And that's the thing as well. Like these are the fights that we're all gonna remember as fans down the line.
Exactly.
The legacy that they leave inside the octagon is what we're always gonna remember. And like you, me both said as well, that Chandler basically has the mentality and a heart of a champion and a warrior, and he's going to leave everything inside there. It's again, I thought Chandler will edge it out, but Dustin, again, like you said, but he's showing the whole world why he's definitely in amongst the elite of the elite inside, not just the UFC lightweight, but the whole roster itself.
I agree, 100%.
He's just a complete athlete right now, man.
And now he's going to basically be the number 1 contender and face off the winner of Islam or Alex Volkanovski. Either way, I'm definitely excited to see how that fight happens down the line.
Yeah, that's a reaction we'll give you down the line for sure, man.
Co-main event, Weilin Zhang versus Carla Esparza.
Hey, man, look. I thought the cookie wasn't going to dominate in this.
For sure, same here. I think
what?
Everyone did, to be honest.
Yeah,
everyone
didn't really give her really much of a chance. But bro, in the first round, she gave it, if anything, like really matched in terms of the ground game, like you said. And that was going to be a key part inside the whole fight in itself. How was Weili going to deal with a wrestler when they put on the ground? And don't get me wrong, Weili did her own thing as well, man.
She was dominant, to be honest. She was actually
the scramble on the floor.
Crazy.
It was going back and forth, man. And in that round, you can see like, okay, ground-wise, this is where like the fight can be won or lost.
Yes, absolutely.
And I give it to the Cookie Monster, man. She held her own on there as well. But again, Weili was a bit more active with her striking, threw a lot more, mixed it up a little bit as well. And for me, she edged that first round. Even though it was a close round, I still give it to the champ.
Yeah, absolutely.
1-0 inside there.
Okay.
And then the second round, this is where I think Weili just decided, you know what? Let me just go and finish this now. Took it to the ground, took her back, and then afterwards really
got her in a crucifix.
Oh yeah,
that crucifix there.
True that, man. Like, she got it properly.
She almost got it there, but like she was more or less. This is the reason why I was Weili was consistently just putting the pressure on top of her. Even though she was on the ground and she was pretty much on Carla Esparza's back, there were still ways of trying to still be a dominant fight. And then pretty much got her neck in that. It was kind of a weird one. It was like a crucifix mixed with a rear naked choke.
Something
it was like something like that. Like, it was definitely a submission submission moved after. Honestly, I have never seen before.
Yeah.
And it was definitely interesting. And then, of course, like Carla, she couldn't do nothing.
Nah.
Arm trap, leg being caught. At that point, it's either you're gonna pass out or you're gonna tap. And Carla had to tap out, of course.
Yeah,
and again, not taking anything away from Carla Esparza, she did her best. We like I said before, we already knew that Weili was gonna win it. It's just I didn't expect it would go that far. I did say Weili was gonna more or less knock her out in the first round.
Yeah.
She could have, but Weili was much more giving a little bit more respect and making sure don't overdo it, because it's still got 5 rounds. Let's just try to take it out.
Take it easy on her, yeah. Take it easy on the cooker, don't let it crumble.
So now, like at this point, like Weili Zhang back to the champion. Who's next opponent? There's options there down the line. So it could be a trilogy with Rose Namajunas down the line. Who knows?
We can see that it depends how Rose is mentally as well.
Yeah,
She's in that mindset as well. Because let's be honest, in that fight against Esparza, bro.
Yeah, it was the
dullest fight in the world.
Yeah,
she showed nothing, and I don't know if her heart's into it, but we have to wait and see.
That's for sure. Now, main event, the fight of fights of the night. This was pure IQ, high quality kickboxing this was.
Yeah, bro, man. From beginning to the end, bro, man. And if anything, more than that as well. First round, you can see there was a lot of feints going on inside from both fighters.
And leg kicks as well.
Yeah, the leg kicks were really trying to feel each other out, see how everything is, a lot of feinting. But you can tell that Izzy was really landing those heavier shots in the leg. You can see in the first round that Pereira was starting to stumble, especially his leading leg. And I think Pereira was just waiting for the right time to land something. It was close, competitive, and then afterwards, Pereira had Izzy on the cage itself, throwing some body shots and a nice knee to the midsection. It was getting close to the end of the round. I was like, okay, Pereira might be doing enough to win this round, to just edge it. And then out of nowhere, Izzy lands a straight right, rocks him, and then finishes off with a hook right on the buzzer itself.
Yeah, that was
crazy. And you can tell, if there was another second or two where Izzy landed another combo,
I think Pereira will be out. Yeah.
Bruv, saved by the bell, literally. By the ref as well, man.
Exactly it. We were in the second round. It was a bit more calmer. It wasn't as crazy. Again, I think more or less Pereira was more or less pressuring Izzy on the fence, trying to throw more combinations, as well. And I think Izzy was more or less trying to pace it out, not to overwhelm himself. Because even so, like with it only takes one shot from Pereira just to catch him. But again, it was much more of a calmer. Pereira just again, like I said, Pereira was pushing the fight, pushing Izzy against the fence again from more combinations. It was a calmer, relaxed. But I'll still say coming after that round, it was still 1-1.
Yeah.
Third round. Definitely much more interesting. Like I said on our previous video, I did say whoever's going to take the takedown is more or less showcasing either they have the championship mindset where they can actually fight wherever, or more or less feel like I can't handle the pressure. I need to more or less switch it up. But to be honest, Izzy actually did really well, dominating Pereira on the ground, grappling, and it actually shows how experienced Izzy was, because Izzy in the past has fought multiple wrestlers, and did really well defending them and also trying to control as well.
That helped him a lot. In this fight,
But then when you see Alex, you can see Alex was still defending, trying to figure out how to get out. There was certain positions where he had no answer. And if he had much more fight experience
with wrestlers,
exactly, stuff like that, it would have helped him much more. But again, it just showed Izzy his IQ, knowing where to place himself, knowing how to more or less put the pressure on someone who's on the ground and just dominate that round completely.
And you can tell, coming out of that round as well, Pereira was starting to get tagged. And then also at the same time, I'm sure it didn't really look, because Pereira is not one of those guys that showed his reactions a lot on his face. But I'm sure deep inside of him, he was feeling himself bruh,
this is now trying to catch up with me.
This is slightly different to the kickboxing days when they took on each other.
Because then also with also Pereira as well, him for cutting that weight from 185, and I think I've heard in coming into the fight, he was 232, somewhere near that.
What?
So of course, as time goes on and the more fight and more of that activity goes on inside the octagon, of course that's going to wear you out, and there's also muscles going to start fatiguing. So of course it showed towards fourth round.
True.
Izzy again implementing much more feints, much more jabs, combinations, trying to clinch against Alex on the fence, doing pretty much everything you can do just to bring Alex Pereira down in it. And it was coming into 3-1. I judged it 3-1.
No, I the same way as well.
I think Izzy was definitely winning the whole fight. I think for me personally, going to the 5th round. Izzy pretty much had it all in the bag. I don't see anything Alex can do.
Do you feel like he kind of took his foot off the
on the pedal? I think he did as well because, like I said before, because I think for him, he knew that he was up, and I think everyone knew that he was up. So it was much more of a pressure for Alex to push it on him than Izzy. Izzy was more or less trying to be like, you know what? Let me just back off. Let me still put on the pressure a little bit, but let me more or less just be a bit more wholesome and just try to evade the shots.
That's the thing as well. Yeah. Again, like it's just the lapse of concentration that Izzy had as well, isn't it?
I don't think it's the lack of concentration. I think it's the lack of, like, if you're look. Izzy knows who Alex is and what he can do, and especially with that heavy shot he has with his hands as well. Why would you put yourself against the cage? Like, why would you do that?
He was doing that a lot.
Exactly.
He was doing that a lot.
He did it so much to the point where it was like, bro, what are you doing?
And he was getting caught as
exactly.
well.
So it's like, for me, it's like, it made no sense.
Yeah.
Like, I understand you rely much more, you're slipping, you're very good. But bro, you're facing someone who's got pretty much the same, if not longer reach than you, and has got power behind it.
You're making yourself an easy target.
Exactly.
Well,
so it will make more sense if that was in the middle of the octagon.
Yeah.
But if you're against the cage, you are stuck.
You're a standing target.
Exactly. So at that point, you are putting yourself in a position where, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And of course, it's shown. Alex basically caught him with a multiple combination in the face. Izzy tried to slip, tried to move.
He was getting caught.
He was getting so many times.
Straight right.
There you go. And he slipped. I think more he fell because the amount of hits he was getting in the face. And by the time you know it, referee had to step in, and now we have a new middleweight champion.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's. Look, I'm not taking anything away from Alex. Congratulations, Alex. You did your thing.
You did his thing. You did this well. Come on,
I'll give you that. You got that. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, in the mindset of Izzy, like thinking like, I got this. I'm gonna get my revenge after all these years. After he beat me twice in kickboxing, I'm gonna actually get one up him on MMA. No, did not happen.
And that's the thing now. Like, I think once this fight was done and over, you and me both said the same thing. Rematch is down around.
There has to.
Don't get me wrong. Izzy did his thing. Really did well with his game plan.
Yeah, he did well.
But again, for me, it was just a lapse of concentration in it, and it was just the tactics of going against the cage, like he said. Yeah, it went against him.
Yeah,
I'm sure he was trying to counter and everything, but it just went against him what he was trying to do there. And for me now, the champ could go back to Brazil now, take his break, enjoy the fruits of his labor, and Izzy just has to go back home. Probably look back, go on the drawing board, look back at the clip, see where he went wrong, and fix those mistakes that he did, right?
Absolutely.
But it's one of those things now. This is what makes the whole division like more exciting again, because now Izzy can be beaten. Fair enough, there's not a lot. If anything, there's no one like Pereira inside the division. But now it just makes you think now, if there's going to be a rematch here, how is that going to play out?
Exactly.
Is Izzy going to do the same thing? What's Pereira going to do now? Like, there's so many things going on in, that can potentially happen inside this rematch.
Exactly it.
So yeah, guys. To everyone didn't disappoint whatsoever, man.
It was a great night of fights. Definitely looking forward to the next big one, that's for sure.
Yeah, guys. But guys, let us know what you think down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.